let me introduce myself. I'm wearing two hats tonight. First hat is Gwen Peterson, as founder of Spiritual Communities Network. And each and every month, I am pleased and always proud to feature one of our members to teach a topic that I hope that you find interesting, adds to your spiritual journey, and maybe you find a new teacher, or someone to ask questions to. Sometimes that's all you need, is someone just to answer your questions. And this month, we started out with Cecilia last week. This week, it's me. And that's my second hat. My second hat is I am the mentor of Insights and Illuminations. And I hold, over the last 15, maybe 20 years now, I've been holding classes, helping people to connect with their soul, and kind of work from that soul level, learning to have a dialogue with the soul, and just creating a whole new life from that perspective. I hold different classes, events, meditations. Last month, I did a heart opening activation for you guys. So this month, this wonderful 2022 year that's kicking off, what a perfect time for me to do the Be, Do, and Have worksheet that I've been doing with my groups for 15 years, okay? And we do it at least annually. On occasion, we would do it quarterly, depending on what we were working on and what people needed. So it's a process that you can work with anytime you feel like you need to amp up your creating abilities, the magic around creating. So you should have your pen and paper handy and ready to go. I want to start by having everybody just kind of close their eyes and take a couple deep breaths. Allowing yourselves to just kind of focus here in this moment, putting away all the activities of the day, all the things you have to do later, and just focus here right now for you. Okay. Now this process that we're going to be doing, this worksheet, it's an exercise I've been doing with the Art of Allowing group for well over a decade. Everyone has had outstanding results, and I think you will too. It isn't enough to know about it, though. You have to work with it. We're going to give you some time to work on it, on each of the steps. But please, if you feel like you can expand on what you started tonight, set aside some time later tonight, tomorrow, and work on it some more. Okay? Because it's your imagination that creates your world. And what we're going to do is we're going to reactivate that power within you. What I want you to do is take money, age, time, education, any other limitations that you might hold about yourself. And I want you to take those away. They don't exist. Don't even let the paper you're writing on limit you. So your imagination, it has no bounds. So allow it that freedom. So little by little, I want you to hear my words and echo them in your heart. I am loving myself that much more, little by little. I am finding more to love and more to discover. I am finding hidden treasures that I locked away for someday. Someday is here. It is now. I can and will do all the things I ever wanted to be, do, or have. Okay, so let's open our eyes. And let's start with step one. and we're going to imagine. And, when we're children, we have no limitations. We can do everything. We can fly, we can leap over buildings, we could be Superman if we want to. And I want to revisit with that. Okay, I want you to go there because there's some things in there, even way back when you were a kid, that you said, when I get bigger, when I grow up, these are the things I want to do. And maybe you want to go back there and visit with some of those, or maybe you're working with something right now that maybe you just need to set in motion. So step one, I want you to write everything that you want to be. What do I want to be? And for those who will be listening to the recording later, just pause the recording and take some time to write and answer this. Okay, let's move on to the next part. What do you want to do? So ask yourself, what do I want to do? And write those things out. Remember, taking away all limitations. Doesn't matter how old you are, money, age. You're just writing what you, in your heart of hearts, what you'd want to do, what you've always wanted to do. So the name of the class is Be, Do, Have. So I bet you can guess what the next thing is. Have. So ask yourself, what do I want to have? Now, step two is why. Okay. And your why is the energy that drives the creation. Okay. It's what makes you feel good about the whole thing. I mean, when you want to be, do, or have things, it's because you want to feel good, right? You have a reason there. So what you're going to do is you're going to write these reasons you want this, why, and it should feel good to you. All right. A couple of things you want to keep in mind when you're doing this is A, when you write it, it should feel good. If it's not, then maybe you're focusing more on the thing you don't want. Okay. So I like to use like the car as an example. All right. If you're in the market for a new car, that was one of the things that you have on your list. You want a new car. You want to write that you want a new car. Okay. And the focus would be on all the reasons why you want it, not the reasons why you don't want the one you have. Okay. So sometimes we can get caught up and saying that we want this, but pointing at the thing we don't want. Okay. Well, I don't want a car that breaks down. I don't want this, or I don't want that. That's not the why here. The why would be, you want a car that runs. It's dependable. It looks good. It makes you go, wow, you deserve it. You put the why in there, but make sure it's a why that makes you smile as you write it. All right. Now, another tip I want you to keep in mind is a lot of people, if this is the first time they've done it, they'll put money on there somewhere. I want to be rich. I want to have a lot of money. I want to do things. I want to have money to do things, right? Okay, if you used money in there, I want you to kind of double back a little bit, and I want you to say what you wanted to use the money for. Okay, because money is a means, it's energy. You create that, but you want money for something, right? Is it trips? Then that's what you want, right? That's the thing you want to do. You want to go on trips. Where do you want to go on trips, right? So be specific. What do you want the money for? Now, the only exception to that rule would be if you feel more comfortable with, say, X amount of dollars in the bank account, and it's not earmarked for anything, not emergencies, Nothing. You just feel good when you look at your bank account and you see $100,000 sitting in there. That is the only way you put money on this list. Okay. Otherwise, money is a means and it's a how. Okay. Think about it that way. It's a how to get to something. And the how is not your business. The magic of this paper is you're telling spirit what you want to be, do, and have. We are not talking how anywhere in this. So put some Y's on your paper. Okay, that should have given you a little bit of fuel for embellishing later, because I know you're going to want to embellish on this, okay? On the whys. You really want to get in there and just yum it all up with all kinds of goodies of why you want these things, all right? The third step and final step is to allow. Okay, you've dreamed about what you wanted to be, do, or have without limitation. You energized it with the why. Now begin manifesting or allowing it to happen. Expectation. This is where your limitations lie. This is where the real work starts. Keep your list handy or put it in on your phone to look at and reactivate your creations. Visit with the why. From time to time, you may find you need to adjust your list to meet your new wants. And notice that how is never a part of this. So don't go there. The how is not your business. Now, step back and begin to give me reasons, or give yourself reasons why you expect to see these things happen. And I'm gonna give you a little tip, because very first time I did this was a hard one for me. Okay, when I very first did it, I was really stumped because I had put on this paper things that didn't have limitations. So how could I possibly expect these things to show up? So I was stumped, and it took me some time, but I figured it out. I looked back at experiences in my life where I said, this could never happen, or things that would happen. And I'm like, that's impossible. So that's where I went. I went to those things, because if those specific things happened to me then, these things could happen to me now. So make some notes of why you think you can expect these things to show up. Okay, that should have got you going there on that last step. And it bears repeating. Little index cards are very handy if you're working on something that you just really have in your heart of hearts you want to see, then and you're struggling with it because you've always kind of shot yourself down, found reasons why it wouldn't work. If you put this information on index cards or on your phone, and then anytime that situation comes up, I'll go back to the car. Okay. So you're wanting a new car, and you see a beautiful car go down the street, and you're like, oh, that one's beautiful. I would love that car. And your mind jumps in and starts giving you all the reasons why you can't have that car. You get out your little cheat sheet and you remind yourself why you can expect to get what you want.